Well, good morning YouTube, and welcome back to Retired for Life. So in today's video, we're going to continue work on the reconstruction of the observatory building. Now, I'll ask you to keep in mind when you look at how I'm approaching the roof job on this building that you're talking to a guy who has pretty extreme height issues. So getting up that high is uncomfortable for me, even though from the ground, you look at it and it's not really very high at all. But when I get up into places like that, I feel like I'm out of balance. So I'm always feeling like I'm about to fall, and that's pretty uncomfortable. So it's a bit of a challenge to deal with. So you'll see how I got around that and still managed to get up on the roof and get some work done on it. I also took a day off to go out on the bike for a ride with some friends, and that was a very enjoyable break. But next day we're back to work. And one thing I'm not going to show you, because there's no real point in it, I did take another crack at the mosquito vac and it failed. So there's nothing really new there. So I'm pretty much ready to give up on it. I can't figure out why it will not work. But all of that said and done, let's get up to the observatory and get to work. As you can see, we got the roof rolled back out of the way. The ends are now stripped off. So the next thing is actually the shingle work. But what I want to do, because I'm going to be up and down on the roof so often, including when I'm reconstructing the roof back on the observatory building itself, I'm building a scaffolding to put up. So let's do a job on that, get it in place here, and get ready to go. So I'm going to make it 4 feet wide. I want it reasonably stable. And when I take it back apart, I think that's going to be about the most usable lumber if I cut my side pieces to 4 feet. All right, let's start putting this thing together. So this is the inside of this end, and this piece I put on to help prevent twist and that kind of thing, to make it sturdier. Now this 6-inch piece on the top, that's what my boards will run from one end to the other. And of course the outside piece is just the ladder. And of course to make it good and sturdy. All right, let's get this piece out of here. Okay guys, I've got the ends made up. So if I can get this in here, even leaning in like this. So as you can see, I've got crisscrossing boards on all 4 sides to help make things much more rigid. I mean, I've got my crossers there, which keeps that 7-inch or 7-foot distance quite nicely, but you could still, the whole thing could still rock back and forth this way. So that's why I've got these angled pieces on all 4 faces, and each angle is going the opposite direction on the opposite side. Now that has made it really very rigid. I'm really pleased with that. See, this feels pretty safe. I can get up here and strip all of this stuff off and very safely come back down. Well, we'll start at the top, peel off the peak, and just work our way down. I'm going to bring the tractor up here with a bucket on it, put it up at the end, then I can just throw my scrap into the bucket. Now again, this is something I haven't done before, so we just figure it out as we go. I want to be very careful not to make a mess. I don't want nails all over the place. So the roof is definitely shaking around. I'll tell you, I've forgotten how heavy shingles can be. It doesn't take long before there feels like there's a pretty good weight in my bucket. Well, guys, we've got all of the shingles off both sides now, but as you can see, it's raining. So I don't think we're going to do too much more out here. So this first side was a little bit awkward for me. As I mentioned, I do have a bit of an issue with heights. So it took me a little bit to get used to. But once I got the siege tower here moved around to the other side, I had this side pretty much stripped down in less than an hour. So the only thing left up there now is the tar paper. And I decided just to leave it. It will come off easy enough as the plywood comes off. And then of course I have to get the siege tower out of the way and start knocking the plywood off the top. But for now, because it's so damp down here, I think we're gonna go clean up the shop and do a couple of little jobs there. So yes, taking a little bit of time off today and out doing a ride with some friends. Beautiful day out for it. Well, you gotta take some time off now and then. So that's what this afternoon is. And then tomorrow, we'll get back to the shed. Cart! Well, the lilacs are coming into bloom, but there's still not a lot of aroma from them yet. But it's getting prettier along here. These guys with their battery powered bikes are getting away from me. Yeah, very pretty back in here. Yeah, it cools off right away. But this is also an area, you know, during prime fly and bug season you don't want to stop in. Right. Well, we got an audience out here on the trail. He's very green, whatever he is. How rotten that is. So that is a large part of that is a result of not putting a drip edge on. So you can see right there how bad that roof truss is, that rafter is. It's gotten quite rotten. Well, that's not too bad. Yeah, so we'll do a little bit of tidying up here. I got all the nails I need to pull out of my plywood and then sweep it with my magnet sweeper. Make sure I've left nothing behind. And the next step will be to actually take the rafters down. So I think that's going to be it for today's video, guys. And if you have any comments or suggestions, I'd love to hear from you. And if you've been finding these videos interesting or at least a bit enjoyable, I'd really appreciate the like, and I'd love to have you subscribe to the channel. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you out on the trails the next time.